Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about some exciting Xbox news. Xbox is about to drop um, uh, Dolby Vision support for the Xbox Series consoles. That's amazing. And we are going to be getting Dark Alliance day one on Game Pass. Just announced today. That's pretty amazing too. Um, Today I want to talk about, I'm gonna go into like Dolby Vision and what I think this means for games, as well as the amazing value of Game Pass. And I want to start off um, by recommending a TV that will definitely give you that next gen experience without having to cost you a fortune. So basically, since the Xbox One X came out, I have almost exclusively been using Vizio TVs. I had the 2018 M series M55 EO, and then I upgraded that um, at the end of 2019 to the Vizio M55 inch, the newer one that they had, because the one I had before only had one HDMI, so I couldn't have my Pro and my Xbox One X hooked up at the same time. So I upgraded the TV to be able to use both of them, and I've had that one since. And then my Vizio P series that I have in the living room, that delivers. You could play the games at 120 frames a second on that TV, which is pretty good for $1,000. That 65 inch with so basically is what I'm saying with Vizio is you can basically get that Samsung QLED experience for a fraction of the cost, minus the really good. I think Samsung has like a little better menu or whatever, but the cost, or for like the smart TV features, like I'm pretty sure there's other things that are maybe a little bit better, but the value that you get with Vizio is pretty good. And this year's M55 quantum technology TV. Quantum is basically the same thing as QLED. Like you get the same really nice color space in the full array local dimming in the screen panel. I think Samsungs are IPS, so you get a wider viewing angle. But if you're a gamer, you're sitting right in front of your TV, so a VA panel is actually pretty nice, and it blocks. It's not as glossy, so it doesn't. You don't get a lot of that reflection in the background. So for me, I like it, I'm because I'm never sitting off to the side, playing video games. I'm usually head on. So for a good gaming TV that will handle HDR10, HDR10 plus, and Dolby Vision for $500. I mean, you can usually get these for like $500-600. Plus, this year's model does VRR. You get variable refresh rate with the new 55-inch from Vizio, which is amazing. $500, $500 for that technology. That all the other TVs are like $2,000, man. You will not be able to use 2.1 on the 55 inch. It will not do the 4K 120. But if you upgrade to the Vizio P series and go like a 65 inch, that does come with that technology, and that's about $1,000. So either way you go, you are still going to get an amazing image quality. And if you don't believe me, that the image quality and HDR quality is good on the Vizio M series or the P series, you can run the LG. You can stream those LG screen, or not screensavers, but like test things that they do when you're at Best Buy and stuff. You can stream that right to the TV and see for yourself that the black levels are pretty black. The picture looks amazing. I mean, at home, like if you're looking at those LG panels at Best Buy, and they look great. They look inky black and stuff. But then once you get your Vizio home and you run that same thing, that same display, like I could barely tell the difference, honestly. I mean, I know that, I mean, there is a little more because of the full array local dimming. There is the possibility that in like dark and bright you might get a little bit of halo effect. But gosh, I mean, I haven't really noticed that. I guess, you know, when they did reviews for these TVs, they were saying that that's a possibility and stuff, but I haven't really noticed it much. And the color banding is nowhere near as bad as it was on my Philips TV when I first got a 4K HDR TV. That color banding was terrible on that TV. But these Vizio TVs, you're getting a really good bang for your buck if you go Vizio. Just, you know, look at the different models, and pick the one that's right for you. M series and up is where you're going to get your better bang for your buck, but the V series and D and V series are also, you know, 4K with HDR and stuff like that. I mean, they do have some of the technology that the M and P series have, but if you want a good TV, just go M or P. That's my recommendation, is either an M series or a P series, and you should be fine with either of those. Yeah, so now let's get back on to Dolby Atmos. Dolby Atmos is amazing. Most of the shows on Disney Plus run in Atmos, and watching those on my TVs, oh my gosh, the color just looks so much more natural than HDR10. This is big, but developers will have to support Dolby Atmos. I'm pretty sure they have to pay a fee to use it. That's why a lot of people are just using the HDR10 because it's open source. But Dolby Atmos gives them so much more to work with, and I'm pretty sure games like Cyberpunk 2077 are going to support Dolby Atmos. I think that, you know, a lot of your bigger, more AAA games are going to support it, and it will be nice. It is. You are going to tell a difference between HDR10 and Dolby Atmos. And it's a nice change. I mean, you got brighter, better colors with HDR or with Dolby Atmos than you do with HDR10. The color banding, you know, like when you're looking at the sky and you can see like the different bands, those should be pretty much gone with Dolby Atmos. I think that I'm not exactly sure. I do need to do some more research on this and, you know, kind of figure out and learn what I'm talking about. But from what I've seen, from the regular person, you know, from what I've seen with Dolby Atmos picture on my TV, I'm more of a fan of Dolby Atmos than I am the HDR10. But HDR10 Plus is also better than HDR10, and the Vizio TVs, they do support all three. So if you go Vizio, you're going to be okay. And Dolby Atmos, to me, or Dolby Vision, is definitely going to be a step in the right direction for video games. I mean, honestly, in my opinion, I think HDR has a better market in video games right now as it sits than it does in cinema. I mean, it looks good in cinema, but it looks better in video games, if that makes sense. It does look a lot better. Our next topic, let's get on to Dark Alliance. Yes, Gamepass, day one. You will be able to download this game to your Xbox before it launches and play it right at midnight when it launches on Gamepass day one. I am pretty excited about this. I'm gonna actually take advantage of Game Pass on this one and download that on Game Pass. I'm gonna actually start doing that a little more often, especially now that we're coming out of this video game drought. I want to be able to still continue to support the developers that I normally would support by buying their games day one, but also support other developers that on games that I probably weren't gonna buy day one, and be able to still review their games. If I download it on Game Pass, I will review it as a Game Pass value title, not as a go out and purchase this game unless I buy the game. If I buy the game, then you will get both reviews. If that makes sense, I'll review it as a value of Game Pass and as a value for purchasing that, to have in your collection. And then that brings me to the last little bit I wanted to talk about is the video I just made for Ratchet and Clank being 1080p. I just want to touch on this a little bit. If it is 1080p, that's not a bad thing, but it's not what Sony advertised the PlayStation 5 as being capable of. Now that I've had a couple of months with my PlayStation 5, I can honestly tell you that I feel that the PlayStation 5 experience is somewhere in between the Xbox One X and the Series X. I don't feel like it's as powerful or as potent as the Xbox Series X, but I don't feel like but I do feel like it's a better experience than the Xbox One X. And that's okay. I mean, I feel like the PlayStation 5 is going to be more of that 4K 30 FPS system, and maybe 1080p 1440p for 60 FPS. That's just where it is. I mean, Sony developers are definitely going to learn the technology a little better. But I mean, when they showed us that demo, that Epic 5 demo, that was running 1440p at 30 frames a second on the PlayStation 5. So, I mean, that's basically what you should expect out of the PlayStation 5. That's where it's at. That's what you should expect. That's what they showed you. Yeah, it says 4K, 8K on the PlayStation 5 box, but that's going to be reserved for basically 30 FPS games. Open world games for sure. I mean, racing, you'll probably be able to get 4K 60. I don't know. We'll see. Gran Turismo should be coming out next year. Hopefully, we'll know more about that then, and we'll have F1. We'll have F1 this year. Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I'm definitely just going to expect 1440p 60 as what the PlayStation 5 is going to be capable of at higher frame rates. So with that, if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really do enjoy making this content, and I want to be able to continue to do that for you. So we'll see you in the next video. Thanks.